Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. It feels weird doing this. It's been not a while as such, but you know, when you're not making content every single day, it does get a little bit odd coming back into it. I've been to Ireland, everybody, since filming. What are your thoughts on Ireland? Dublin, Ireland. I know we have a lot of Irish fans on the channel. Get in the comment section below what your favourite part of Dublin is. I really want to know. I went to Temple Bar, but I keep getting loads of Irish people in the comment section below telling me, Connor, you didn't go to the right places, so I'm intrigued to know who, what, and where. We're back here with some Leeds United news. Leeds United discussion points, really, and I saw this online. It's not been covered anywhere else, and I kind of wanted to discuss it with you guys. It's who on earth we would take back from the crop of Leeds United players who deserted the club next season, because there is a conversation to be had on who comes back to the club next season. And I'm going to make this a hypothetical situation, a hypothetical environment scenario. So get in the comment section below who you think would fit best in this Daniel Farke system. This is either Premier League or Championship, but I'm going to say Leeds are back in the Premier League hypothetically. Who do you put back in there, and why do you put them back in there? You go through the squad. We saw Brendan Aronson score a wonderful free kick yesterday. It's not to hate on Brendan, but he was almost giving it the Jude Bellingham's. Brendan, you're not that guy, my friend. You're not that guy. No one touches Jude Bellingham at this moment in time, and you certainly do not. But let's touch on him to start. It doesn't look like it's going well for him, as predicted, at Union Berlin. What did we make of him in a Leeds United shirt? He was anonymous. And seems like a nice guy. I seem to say this with all of these Leeds players, because if you don't say they're a nice guy, it turns into some sort of like personal vendetta I've got against them. Brendan Aronson is the most average, below average, he's given him too much credit, footballer I have seen in a long time at Leeds United. For the price tag we paid, I understand that's not his fault. It's the dense recruitment director who had in charge. However, Brendan Aronson will never make it at Leeds United at any capacity. He would have struggled in the Championship with regards to the physicality, the athleticism needed, and I don't see where he'd have fit. I don't understand what Brendan Aronson is as a football player. He's a presser, but what else has he got? Can he strike a ball cleanly with his left or right foot? Does he get enough goals, assists? No. Does he incorporate what you need to almost be an advanced state / number 10? Not at all, aside from being a presser. Facilitated massively by his experiences in the US, or his experience in the US and the hype train that is overseas for him, and his time in Europe, of course, which was in the best team in the country, who were never really challenged at any level, in my opinion, or have never been challenged at any level with the financial backing they've got. And now he's at Union Berlin, doesn't look like it's working. So Brendan Aronson is definitely a no for me. I'm only going to go through some of the names who I feel will come up in conversation with regards to a lot of Leeds United fans and who they believe should be potentially back. And Brendan Aronson is one of those. Rasmus Christensen, no. Budget footballer, League One. No chance does he come back into this Leeds United setup. For me, he's nowhere near good enough, was never good enough, cannot offer anything to this Leeds United side, and him and Brendan Aronson is a combined 40 to 45 million pound price tag. If you include add-ons, gives me sleepless nights. It really, really does. You know, it's a tough one to look at when you're looking at Rasmus Christensen. Jack Harrison is the one a lot of Leeds fans have been earmarking as a potential player who would come back into this Leeds United fold. On a moral level with Jack, I was a little bit disappointed. I understand how Everton are covering his wages. I understand how he'd have had to take a cut at Leeds. I get that. I looked at him and thought he's one of the ones who can come back into the fold and make a difference in the Championship. I've always criticised Jack for not hitting that ceiling, but I thought he'd stick with us for this period of time. And I think from a moral standpoint, in terms of what he's had, which has been very different to the other almost charlatans who've left Leeds and have threatened, Leeds United with legal action if Leeds try and keep them. I know there's contract disputes this here, there, and everywhere, but when you're looking at Jack, I thought, you can stick by the club that stuck by you for a long time, has given you your opportunity when, let's be right, it wasn't really working out when, you were being loaned out by Man City here, there, and everywhere. And I just thought to Everton, who there's a massive likelihood they'll get relegated this season. I understand if it's a huge, huge club, no offence to Everton, but a team who's going to come in for you and you're looking at it and you're thinking, wow, you can't reject that. But it's Everton. I don't think there's going to be much parity between the two clubs very soon anyway. And maybe he just wanted a Premier League campaign to keep his stock high. I get that. But I just thought he could have given Leeds that time. So would I take Jack back? On the balance of things, it depends really. But I'd say no. I still think Leeds maybe can get better out wide, and maybe they have got better out wide. Who knows? Maybe the fluidity will get, and maybe Jack can come in as depth, but the fluidity will get maybe Jayden, Willie, and Crescencio. Maybe that's going to be a nice little option for Leeds United, and Jack won't be happy not playing. And listen, Jayden Anthony's got a terrific record in the Championship. Angus has said that Leeds were after him anyway, so I like that option. I do like that option, and Jack has left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, so Jack will be a no from me. The other obvious one, Luis Sinisterra. Not on Rafinha's level, but a ridiculously good footballer. I've just been speaking about morals, and this is the man who wanted to take legal action against Leeds United. This is the man whose agent, along with Louis, was trying to get out of Leeds United from moment one. And once again, you have to look at this moral standpoint. You have to look at the fact that he wanted out very, very quickly. And for a long period of time, and I get that, he's a top player. I understand that. But what he dragged Leeds through, once again, in a Daniel Farke, if we're not just purely looking systematically, where he'd still be the best player in the side, I do think you have to look at what the CEO has come out and said, and I'm not a massive fan of Angus Kinnear, but when he's come out and said that him and Tyler Adams threatened legal action and were willing to take Leeds to court and, cause problems, that doesn't sit well with me whatsoever. So, Louis, it was fantastic, but it would be a no from me once again. Marc Roca. A delightful player, someone who, in a better system, would, and I've said this all along, would excite me. In a possession-based system, someone who would thrive, someone who a lot of Leeds fans are talking about Gruev. Marc Roca is that profile, but 10 times probably the player that Gruev is, in my opinion. Hopefully Gruev will prove me wrong. And I'm talking about stages at their career, everybody. Gruev hasn't experienced what Marc Roca's experienced, so I'm not criticising him whatsoever. I'm just saying at this stage in their careers, you'd probably say Roca is the better player, the much better player. Betis, it's gone very, very well for him so far. Cracking reports, they all love him out there, and he's probably the only success story as of right now Leeds United have had in terms of the lone players going out and doing well. So the question, would I take him back? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't take him back. And the reason being is because, once again, Marc was another one who Leeds probably looked at potentially and thought he could come down with us this season and give us a shot. Now, we're not naive. There are European top European clubs going in from who are playing in top European competitions, and that's the difference with Roca, which people fail to listen to. The best player at Leeds United, Luis Sinisterra, hasn't got the calibre of move that Marc Roca has got now. Say what you will about that, but Roca, I think, could play under a really, really good manager, a really decent level, and he is doing that now under Pellegrini. But he wanted out ultimately, and it's not a you leave Leeds, you never come back to Leeds. It's not. It's really, really not. But once again, the rhetoric with Marc Roca, the quotes that we've seen post, have been that he wanted to leave Leeds, and Leeds were almost surprised by his willingness to leave. So no, I would not take him back. I believe, and this is the conclusion, everyone, I believe this is a new Leeds United, a new era, a new breed, a new campaign. Why would we want to inject something from the previous campaign to poison, and I will use that word, the current crop? Why would Daniel Farke want to bring that into a group of players who potentially played with each other a season before and built a camaraderie, built team bonds, relationships, synergy, cohesiveness? Why would you want to ruin that? Why would you want to tarnish that? So ultimately, my conclusion is, even with the 5 players that have been most discussed on the Leeds United sphere about coming back, I wouldn't take any of them back. I'm here to build something with Leeds United. I want to see Leeds United as a new Leeds United, and a Leeds United that I can believe in, you can believe in, and ultimately that will succeed in the Premier League under a manager who is willing to also give us that loyalty that he wants from his players. So I'm fascinated to hear what you guys think about this one. This is a controversial topic. I don't think any of those players will play for Leeds United again. I back Daniel Farke, I back the club, and I back them ultimately to hopefully get it right going forward, because what was before needs to be shut as a book. That chapter needs to close, and in that chapter are all those players. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, everybody. Fascinated to hear what you think about this one. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.